How's it going, guys? I am back. Another video, serious video, talking about things. Last week, I talked about college and going into college and your freshman year of college and how to really make the most out of it and how to enjoy your time in college. Just a little recap, you got to really put yourself out there and know how to make friends and don't be afraid to just say things in class. But that's last week. If you want to know more about that, go watch that video. This week, I'm going to talk about leaving college because that's actually what I'm doing this year. I'm in my last semester of college. Pretty shitty last semester if you ask me with all this COVID stuff, but I'm leaving college and it's time for me to start thinking about that. And one thing that's really come to mind for me is the stuff that I take advantage of from college that I take for granted. One of those things in particular is the Adobe Suite. I get all of the Adobe Suite for free being a student at college, and it's one thing that I hadn't really thought about since now I'm making videos, and then leaving college I wouldn't be able to use Premiere Pro, which is what everyone wants to use. It's super expensive. I think Premiere Pro on its own is like $20 a month. And then there's Photoshop to make the thumbnails. I think you can get Photoshop and Lightroom as a bundle for $20 a month. So that's $40 a month that I'd be looking at if I wanted to continue doing this. And then there's After Effects if I ever wanted to start making some cool graphics. I don't know, I assume that's probably about $20 a month as well. So that's $80 a month that I would have to spend to continue doing what I am doing for free in college. So I want to talk about looking into the future and planning ahead to know what you're gonna be losing when you leave something. So for me, I'm leaving college. You could be leaving a job. Maybe at your job you get Microsoft Word for free on your work computer and you just use it all the time and you didn't even think about it that once you quit this job you're not going to have it anymore. So it's all about looking ahead and planning for things like that and trying to find alternatives. Specifically today I'm going to be talking about alternatives for Premiere and for Photoshop. These are two programs that I found that I really love so far, and even though I'm talking specifically about being a media student and finding alternatives to these things, I hope that this can help other people. I don't know, it's not really much of an advice video. It's more of just I found these two programs and I really want to share them because I think they're awesome. So first things first, I found DaVinci Resolve. I'm sure everyone's heard about it, or at least everyone that's in the video creation world is DaVinci Resolve. It's a free video editing software, and I actually have heard about this for a long time but never tried it out because I have Premiere Pro. DaVinci's free, it's free. It's probably not that good compared to Premiere, so why would I try it out? Until one class about 2 weeks ago where I was sitting there and our professor was doing some icebreaker thing, and we had to go around the room and say the reason why we were in that class and what we want to learn and blah blah blah. And I said that my main goal from the class is to learn how to color correct and color grade on Premiere Pro because it's really confusing to me. I don't understand it much and I don't like how my videos come out because they look different from when I'm editing them. So I told him my main goal is to fix the color of my Premiere videos, and he responded by saying, "Is that all you want to get out of this class?" Which I thought was really weird because it's a color correction and finishing class. So I responded in saying, well, it'd be cool to learn about color theory and that kind of thing. And he said the reason I said that is because we're not going to do much. He said that we're not going to do much work in Premiere Pro, and everything we do, or mostly everything we do, will be in DaVinci Resolve because DaVinci Resolve has a better color grading and color correcting panel than Premiere Pro does, and it's actually the industry standard. This free software is the industry standard for color grading and color correcting. So I thought that was really cool, and it kind of opened my eyes to the fact that I am using this program that in 4 or 5 months I won't be able to use anymore, and I haven't accustomed myself to anything else. And that's just me getting stuck in my comfort zone and not wanting to leave it because I've been using Premiere for so long. I've learned all the shortcuts, I've learned all the nitty-gritty ins and outs, and I'm comfortable here and I don't want to learn anything else because learning other stuff is difficult and I feel like my videos would suffer from it and stuff like that. But it's important to notice when you need to change and when it's more worth it to look into a new thing than it is to stay in your comfort zone. So I downloaded DaVinci Resolve, and actually all my videos this week have been from DaVinci Resolve. And I don't know, there's been no real change in what I've been doing. Yeah, I don't know how to use effects as well. And yeah, there's a lot that I just don't understand, but there's YouTube, and you can look things up on YouTube, you can look things up on Google. There's probably tons of people that love this program that write tons of stuff about it and can help me out. And if I ever come across a problem that I need to know, I'll just look it up. So I guess the point of this is to just realize that what you're doing now is not what you're going to be doing forever, and it's important to kind of be proactive and look into the future and realize, hey, if in a few months I might not be able to use this, it might be worth looking into something else. This isn't really that good of a life advice video, but it's something that's really really important to me, and I feel like it'd be really important to any other senior in college, because colleges offer a lot of free things, like even Amazon Prime. You get 50% off Amazon Prime. I just realized that I have to pay full price for Amazon Prime after I graduate, and I'm not looking forward to that, but hey, I'll probably still keep Amazon Prime. But anyway, that's my replacement for Premiere. DaVinci Resolve, amazing product. If you make videos or edit or do it as a side thing, check out DaVinci. It's awesome. I can't say enough good things about it. I can say a couple bad things about it. No pinch to zoom, some things like that. I don't like how keyframes work, but there's a lot of good about it for a free program, and that's huge. Free program, really good. And then second, there is the replacement to Photoshop. Photoshop, you know, they tout it's the world's most powerful picture editor or whatever. Well, I'm not going to say I found. It's not like I found it on my own, but there is a alternative to Photoshop called Affinity Photo. I got this for $50 as a one-time purchase, and honestly, I like it more than Photoshop. I think it's more intuitive. I think it works a lot better. Like, there's a lot less restrictions on. For Photoshop, you have to select the layer for everything, select the layer that you want and then move your thing, blah, blah, blah. On this, you can just kind of click on a picture and it auto selects that layer, and you can automatically change the shape and size of it. If you use Photoshop, you know what I'm talking about. You got to go up to edit, and then you got to go transform, and then you got to pick scale, and then you can change the size of it. In Affinity, you can just straight up click on it, and then right there, you can change the size, you can rotate, you can give it some I don't know, you can stretch it. It's really cool. It's really powerful, really nice tool. There's a few things that I'm not too sure about. I personally don't do much in Photoshop. I don't mask, I don't add a bunch of effects. I just kind of take pictures and throw them together and throw text on it. As you can see by my thumbnails, they're really simple. But everything I've needed to do in Photoshop, I can do in Affinity. And if there's things that I can't do in Affinity that I can do in Photoshop, I can just look it up. And worst case scenario, there's some workaround. I don't think there's anything in Photoshop that you absolutely cannot do in Affinity. Unless, I don't know, I can't even think of an example. They've got the clone stamp tool, they've got the marquee tool, they've got the lasso, they've got the magic wand, they've got everything. It's great. It's a really good program. I don't think there's a free version. It's $50. I don't think you can try it out for free. So that's a little downside, but if my word matters at all, it's a great program. I'd highly recommend it for anyone in graphic design. So those are really specific examples for media students in college that are about to graduate soon, as far as finding programs to replace what you're about to do. But overall, I think it's important that people get really comfortable in what they're doing, and they don't really look too far ahead. They kind of just live day to day. I think it's important that people sit down every now and then and just think ahead and think of, where is it you want to be in a year? Where is it that you want to be in a couple months? Where will you be in a couple months? Maybe you don't want to be there, but you will be there. I mean, I'm not going to say I don't want to graduate. I do. But it's not my choice to graduate in 4 or 5 months. It's just going to happen. And it's not my choice to lose Premiere and Photoshop and all the Adobe stuff. It's just going to happen. So I have to replace them. So that's pretty much the point of this video. I know it's not a really general topic that a lot of people can relate to. I really like to make videos like that. But when I come across something like this that I found has really helped me, I want to share it with as many people as I can, and maybe, some people it helps, maybe some people it doesn't, but maybe for them, the general idea of the video kind of reaches them a bit, even if it's not directly influencing them. So yeah, pay attention to the future, see what you got going for you, and maybe if you don't enjoy what you're doing, or you think you're going to be in a troubling circumstance, then check out alternatives. Figure out what you can do now to be ready for 6 months down the road. If you feel like you don't want to live where you are now, and one day you just want to move, don't wait until a month before you move to start looking at houses and looking at jobs. Start looking now and prepare yourself. Even if it's a long time away, get an idea of what you could potentially do when you move down there or wherever, what will be coming for you, like what you may need to pay for some things. It's really important to not put things off till the last second. But as for that, that's about all I have for this video. I'm sorry if it wasn't really that helpful for you. I'm sure this will be helpful for a few people, but it's just something I really wanted to share because I found these really cheap / free programs, and I think they're amazing. I wanted to just get the news out there, and I think it could be helpful for a lot of people, especially that are kind of pursuing the same thing as me. You don't have to have top of the line industry standard, like best thing in the world. You can get by and possibly do better with a simpler program that is free or really cheap comparatively. So I hope you guys all enjoyed the video. If you did, drop me a like, hit the subscribe button. It would help me out a ton, and I'll see you next time.